Okay, today we are talking about Tiffany A. Henyard, super mayor, who is, for lack of a better word, corrupt.
I handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Tiffany Henyard certainly isn't shy about attracting attention. Here she is starting a Dolton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City. Later punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me. Thank you, DJ.
Furious after a Fox 32 investigation found this registered child sex offender on the public payroll.
A sex offender, you don't give them carte blanche to go into different people's homes.
46-year-old Lavelle Redmond is close friends with Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who in September hired Redmond as a code enforcement officer without the village board's approval. Redmond served 25 years in prison for the brutal gang rape and beating of two young teenage girls in the 1990s and was arrested and charged after our first story aired for violating the reporting requirements of the sex offender registry. Fox 32 has also obtained this cell phone video showing Redmond interacting with the mayor and little children at a back-to-school event in Dolton. Notice the badge on his waist.
Now, we're just 2 minutes into this video, and you see the level of corruption that we are dealing with. It is freaking-sane. And I haven't even got to the new stuff yet. That's just the old stuff. That was just like literally a highlight reel of some of the old stuff. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, those of you who are new to this story, let me introduce you to Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Now, first we start in 2016. This is Tiffany A. Henyard, the super mayor. This is Chicago Police Department's official website for people they've arrested. And we can see Miss Henyard was arrested on July 20th, 2016 and was bonded out with a $1,500 bond. She was arrested for criminal trespass in the vehicle, so it's essentially a misdemeanor for breaking into cars. Now, this is 4 years before the super mayor became the super mayor.
The new mayor says she has big plans for the village of Dolton. She wants to boost the economy and curb crime.
Are you ready to take your oath? Yes.
Tonight, Dolton's new mayor, Tiffany Henyard, sworn in.
Dolton residents, I am reporting for duty.
Henyard, now the first woman and the youngest person to ever be elected mayor of the South Suburb.
Tiffany didn't just shatter that ceiling. She brought it all the way down.
So now, we gotta give props where props is due. The super mayor went from being arrested for breaking into cars at 33 to having a $300,000 job at 37. Crazy.
In addition to leading Dolton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township.
You make almost $300,000 between your two elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
So we gotta admit, the mayor has come up, right? Breaking into cars, now $300,000 job. That is a hell of an accomplishment in, 5 years? Great. But I think the mayor may have been hired because she checks off a couple of boxes. Black woman? Check. Person of color? Check. Youngest person? Check. And I think when you just check off boxes, you get this type of craziness, right? This is what you kind of get. Like when people are sitting there protesting outside the mayor's office saying they're hiring sex offenders, that's a problem.
We pay rapists with our tax dollars in Dolton. We pay rapists with tax dollars in Dolton.
Okay, so now let's get to the new stuff. See, the mayor has been in all these controversies. police overtime, spending extra money, town going from a $2 million surplus to a $7 million deficit, FBI probes. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on. But now it's time to get reelected. So she doesn't want to go back to breaking into cars, right? She wants to go and continue on making $300,000 a year as the mayor and town supervisor. So that is her plan. But how do you do that? How do you do that? Because anybody can run against her now and win. So she says, well, let's do this. Well, I'm in a position, I'll get paid $200,000 a year. But if somebody beats me, they only get paid $25,000 a year. So that's her way of trying to stay in power. That if anyone beats her, defeats her for this job of township supervisor, that they won't get the $200,000 salary she's getting. They're only going to get $25,000. I am not joking.
Bert Odelson says he was stunned when he saw the latest move by controversial Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who also doubles as the mayor of Dolton. 2 weeks ago, the Township Board passed an ordinance that allows Henyard to continue collecting her $224,000 a year salary. But if anyone other than Henyard gets the job, the ordinance resets that salary to $25,000 a year. Odelson says that's blatantly unconstitutional because you can't set an elected official's salary based on who's holding the seat.
You put a salary to attach to the job, to the officer. So it is a blatant attempt to dissuade other people from running and to allow the current supervisor to maintain the $250,000 or whatever it is obnoxious salary.
If I didn't receive any information, actually literally I sat down for the meeting. No,
so you didn't know this was coming?
No.
Thornton Township trustee Chris Gonzalez says he didn't vote for the ordinance because he was handed the 7-page document at the start of a meeting and didn't even have a chance to read it.
So first, listening to that, I have two things to say. Number one, the town village board, those people are idiots. Why the hell would you vote for something like this, right? Why would you put something like this in? You're dummies. And it shows you that she has a whole bunch of dummies that are supposed to be overseeing her. So she's not doing this alone. Those other people should go down for this too, right? They should be fired immediately for allowing something like this to go through because they had to go and vote and say, yes, we agree to let her get $224,000. And if she doesn't have the job, the next person only gets $25,000. That's crazy. But it goes a little farther. See, when you're running for elected position, you got to put posters up and you have to promote yourself, right? Now, do you think Tiffany A. Henyard is going out there and raising money and, has a campaign? No. You know what she's just going to do? She's just going to use taxpayer money to promote herself, which in most places is illegal, but we are talking about Chicago politics. But essentially what Tiffany A. Henyard is doing is using taxpayer money to fund her reelection campaign. Take a look.
Okay, so if you've driven one of the expressways in the south suburbs recently, you've no doubt seen one of these giant billboards. They feature the name and the face of a smiling local politician. What you may not know is the money for these billboards is coming out of taxpayers' pockets, and that's raising questions for Tiffany Henyard, the Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, who has already come under fire for spending public money promoting herself.
Dane Placco has the latest chapter in his ongoing investigation into Henyard's questionable spending.
Take a drive to the south suburbs and you can't miss them. 4 giant billboards featuring Tiffany Henyard's name in large letters, along with her picture, smiling down on the thousands of cars going by on Interstate 57 and the Bishop Ford Expressway. What are they advertising? One says fresh produce, another senior services, and this one simply says we offer general assistance. There's a phone number, but you wouldn't know what it's for unless you can read in teeny tiny letters Thornton Township Supervisor as you're speeding by. Bills obtained by Fox 32 under open records laws shows Thornton Township paid more than $10,000 for the vinyl signs themselves and more than $12,000 to Clear Channel Outdoor Advertising for 1 month's rental of the billboards.
This isn't the first time Henyard has used taxpayer dollars to burnish her own personal image. In fact, on other occasions, she spent a lot more.
Hey guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard.
And you can't turn your head in Dolton or Thornton Township without seeing Henyard's picture or name. It's on all the government-owned vehicles, buildings, even on the rugs in the township, where we found a Tiffany Henyard 2024 calendar featuring all the important dates to remember, including her birthday.
It's a crime. Yeah, you're using public funds for something that taxpayer dollars shouldn't be used for.
And just when you think you've seen it all, take a look at this. When the first billboard went up last summer, Thornton was misspelled as Thornton. Another sign had to be ordered, apparently at taxpayer expense. Dane Placco, Fox 32, Chicago.
Now that was crazy. She's using the town's money as her own personal piggy bank. And let's be 100% honest on why this is happening. It's because these people were happy to check the boxes. I'm going to say it. Don't hate me for saying the truth. But they were happy to have this woman check boxes, and now they're suffering for it. What do I mean by checking the box? First woman, check. First minority woman, check. Right? For someone who is rehabilitated out of the criminal justice system, check. So they checked all those boxes, right? She's checked all the boxes. So it allowed us to say the first woman, the first minority woman, the first black woman, right? Checked all those boxes. But they didn't check the most important box, whether she was competent to do the job. And now that box is the one that's exploded. She's not competent. It's not about this. It was always about this. And these idiots voted her in because she checked all the wrong boxes, right? If she was white, no, we don't need another white guy. If she was a male, we don't need another man. We need a woman, no matter how bad she is. And that's how she was able to go from breaking into cars at 33 to 4 years later being the mayor, getting a $300,000 salary because she checked enough boxes.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard was sworn in today as Supervisor of Thornton Township. She is the youngest person, first woman, and first African American to hold that office. She says she is truly honored and humbled.
I can't help but to pause and appreciate the historic significance of this appointment.
History is going to be made today in South Suburban Dolton. Tiffany Henyard will be sworn in as the village's first woman mayor. Henyard won 82% of the vote in the April election. She'll be sworn in at 4 this afternoon at Dolton Main Park.
You see what I mean? The first woman mayor, the first black woman, the first black person, right? It's all about what she looks like. It has nothing to do with her qualifications. That's how you go from breaking into cars 4 years later, having all this power, having all this authority. Who do you blame for that? Who do you blame for that? So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff, because we're going to continue to follow the exploits of Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. And I'm going to leave you with the Super Mayor, dressed up as Nino Brown, a crack dealing gangster from the movie New Jack City, showing her dominance to the town, telling the residents, bitch, you better pay me my money.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing.
Tiffany Henyard certainly isn't shy about attracting attention. Here she is starting a Dolton Village board meeting dressed like the Wesley Snipes character in the movie New Jack City, later punctuating her political points with the help of her own DJ.
Every single resident